So this is Saturday, May 3rd, and we're in the offices of Ray Jackson. So the town reached a collective bargaining agreement with the local. Congratulations, I guess.
It was a long fought out process.
Did you expect this?
Originally, we didn't think that it would go the direction that it had for as long as it had went. Of course, anytime you're dealing with the unions and representation, there's always going to be some differences in how things are done as far as money is concerned and how much a particular entity has. We've always prided ourselves, or at least our administration has always prided ourselves on taking care of our employees to the best of our abilities. We understand, and we always had going in, that it was always bigger than just a small group of individuals. We have to be responsible fiscally, responsible for the town in general, and that includes everything down to the streets being maintained all the way to our water treatment plants as well as our wastewater.
So now that you've reached an agreement, do you think you can close ranks and heal all the divisions and hurt feelings and all that?
I think like everything else, it'll pass. They will do what they need to do, and we'll keep it moving. We're not going to change our philosophy. We've always had an open door policy. We've always thought we had a good relationship with our employees. I think from the time that I've been mayor and our administration, there has been significant changes in the relationships that we've cultivated since we've been here. That's been totally different. I personally see it as being basically a 180 from what it was prior to us arriving on the scene. Will there always be some problems? Of course there will be, but I think now that we've come to a collective bargaining agreement and it has been signed, that we can continue to move forward and get the job done, and the town can function the way that it has been and will continue to.
So federal funding out of Washington, D.C. seems to be changing on a daily basis almost.
Yeah.
It has reached some governments, local governments. Has it reached this local government in the town of Friday Harbor?
Well, and you pretty much already know that a town of this size relies heavily on federal funding and grants, especially for a lot of the facilities that we have. We're fortunate enough to have two utilities, the water treatment plant and the wastewater treatment plant, which is kind of unusual for a town of this size. And so in order for us to alleviate having a lot of the cost burdens put on our ratepayers, we rely heavily on grants and subsidies from the federal government, state and local, or state.
Are you worried in particular about grants related to utilities? Is that where the town is most vulnerable?
We are in that particular case. And also, a lot of our stuff is generated through sales tax. And because of that, there are other outside things of which is out of our control that, of course, I have a lot of sleepless nights worrying about it, as well as my town administrator.
How does our tourism look in 2025 so far?
Right now it's a little bit slow, but it's early. A lot of factors are going to come into play on that. We've made strides, and I give a lot of kudos to our visiting bureau, who has promoted more tourism based upon our ferries being more reliable, which it's pretty much the reason why I think tourism is either going to go down or it's going to come back to the levels that it needs to come. But that's to be determined based upon how the ferries operate. And as it stands right now, all we can do is cross our fingers and hope that we don't have a repeat of what happened the last season, which was a lot of ferry shutdowns and a lot of stalls and inconveniences.
So you're coming up on 3.5 years as mayor of Friday Harbor.
Yeah.
What are 2 or 3 of your proudest accomplishments?
When I came on board, one of the things that I wanted to work on is to make sure that the town functions, stays, fiscally responsible, and that we have people that are in charge that are maintaining it and doing what's best for the town in general. And I think we've done that. We've had a couple of things like the Nat Street project, which was completed recently, which was a fantastic new look on that whole little area that we have right down there, as well as the Marguerite problem we had, the street problems that was going on. We fixed that entire area over, and it's been totally renovated. And a lot of the feedback that we've been receiving from both of those have been very positive. That also took grants, okay? And so it's a good way for the citizens to actually see their town government at work and their tax dollars at work.
So you're proud of the management that has been built. I hear you saying in the last few years, the management of the town government, and you're proud of some public works projects.
Yes, very much so.
That's cool. Do you have unfinished business?
Oh yeah, definitely.
What today is a priority for you looking forward?
Well, my priority has always been, still, is to figure out how we can get workforce housing here on the island. It's going to require some Herculean efforts. In the past 3.5 years, we have made some progress. We have a couple of projects that are going on right now as we're speaking, building new housing for individuals, one on off of Sunday Drive or Hamilton Ranch, and then also off of Guard Street. We have some projects that are going on there too. So we're definitely getting in that direction. Of course, it takes a little time, but at least we're making progress in that area.
A, B, C, D, or F, grade the town on affordable housing progress.
Right now, as far as our progress, I give us about a B minus. B minus because we are actually doing something. You know, shovels are being in the ground. We actually have something concrete. It's not just talking. It's
fair. And B minus implies room for improvement.
Always room for improvement because we need to have more housing. That is something that is going to be greatly needed. We need, as far as what the future of the town is going to be, it's going to require us to have workers, and it's going to require workers to have housing. And so we need to make that a priority, regardless of the direction of where the town is going to go. If we don't solve that problem, then I don't see how we can actually have a sustainable economy moving forward, especially with our young people and where they want to go and what they want to do. But it's going to take more than just local government to make that happen. I believe private investment needs to be also put into play here, something that a lot of people frown on, but it's an inevitable thing. It's to rely on it just by local participation or grants, especially in these troublesome times, uncertain times, is something that is not really viable, in my opinion.
So filing for candidate for mayor starts Monday, I think, the 5th, and runs just a week, just 4-5 days. I guess It's over Friday, close of business Friday.
Friday,
Have you reached a decision on whether or not you want to run for re-election as mayor?
You know, for the last 3.5 years that I've been mayor, I've been really proud of the accomplishments that we've made, the administration has made. I give a lot of that credit to my town administrator, Denise Kosef. She's been really, really great in making sure that we stay on point, on target, dealing with adversities and moving forward on it. There are so many other things that we need to do, even though we made these accomplishments with the streets and improving a lot of the neighborhoods that we have here and beautifying the town. We have pocket parks now, we have other facilities, and we recently did get the grant funding for our wastewater treatment plant, which is fantastic news, and all kudos goes to my public works department as well as to my town administrators for staying on point and making sure that we got that funding. It's a hard thing to do, especially when you're competing against so many other entities that need those dollars. And so that's a big accomplishment there for us as a town, that we don't have to worry about saddling that burden onto our ratepayers, which, by the way, is the only way that those facilities can be paid for. We cannot get money from any other type of source or take it out of any other funding. We have to just get it either through grants or loans, or we have to get it through our ratepayers. And so I'm happy that we've accomplished that. As I mentioned before, there's still more things that we need to do. I think because of that, and because we're kind of midstream in where we're going, I don't want to change course. I want to see this thing go to its full end. And because of that, I think changing of leadership in doing that might slow the process down. And I want to be a part of that. I want to see it go to its fruition, be where it's supposed to be, our town be the way it is. And the best way to do that, I think, is just to maintain the course. And because of that, after careful consideration and talking with my family, I think I'm going to go ahead and announce my candidacy to remain a mayor of the town of Friday Harbor if the citizens of the town will allow me to be.
So I'm going to close on, maybe we'll throw to a little bit of tape of your speech, your fiery speech on the courthouse lawn. I guess it was about 3 or 4 weeks ago.
I think it was April the 5th that we had that.
Yeah, so not that long, 3 weeks.
Yeah.
3 weeks or 4, anyway.
Yeah.
Quite a speech.
Well, you know,
I didn't know you had it in you.
Well, I mean, we all have it in us. And it's, even as a small town, your voice can be heard. And I think one of the jobs of being a mayor, and it's really difficult because the position is nonpartisan. So you have to walk this tightrope as far as your views and your positions on certain things and policies. One of the good things about that opportunity was you didn't have to have a side. This is an issue that all Americans are facing. And this is an issue that's going to face or affect everyone here on this island really, really, really seriously, because it doesn't matter whether or not you're a Republican or a Democrat or your beliefs or your ideologies. It's about the policies that are being placed out and how it's going to affect this town. So as the mayor, it's important that I at least project that it takes more than one person to make a change happen, and for the people and the citizens all over to understand that your voice matters, your vote matters. How you want to see your future will only happen if you as an individual use the power that you have. And that is the power of voting, the power of speaking out against things that you feel are unjust. And our issues are American issues.
Last question.
Sure.
You are the only person I know who served in 3 branches of the military. We've talked about that last year in some interviews, and I admire that. Speaking of Washington, D.C., are you concerned about how veterans are being treated right now?
Definitely, you know, but it's always been the case. As long as we can think of, the veterans have not really given their fair due for the amount of sacrifice and time and devotion to country that they have. Doesn't take me to kind of state the obvious. It's more prevalent now because actions are being taken up in Washington to really not help the problem, but hinder it even more so. And that's why I'm saying it's so important that people, individuals, understand. I mean, we have veterans, we have rich individuals that live here who have lots of money, who have veteran experience, as well as individuals who, on a lower scale, who are experiencing those problems as well. People rely on these things, but they're entitlements. They're entitlements that were earned. And I think that's the biggest thing that needs to be put out, as well as Social Security benefits. But just the freedom of being an American. Being an American is a big issue. That's why I go and signed up and put my name on and decided to devote a lot of my adult life to serve in the public. I believe in what we do. I believe in this country. I believe that individuals do have the power to make change. And the more individuals come together on a common goal, there's nothing that we can't do, nothing we can't change, nothing that we can't accomplish as a community, as a town, as a neighborhood, as a family, as a country. So, yes.
So this is Mayor Ray Jackson of Friday Harbor, Washington. Thank you, Mayor. It's always great to talk to you, and your name will be apparently, well, not apparently, your name will be on the ballot.
Yeah, it's going to be on the ballot, and I look forward to the opportunity to serve again. And like I said, if the town citizens allow me to do that, I'll do what I can for them. Thank you again for giving me the opportunity.
Thanks a lot.
You're most welcome. Thank you.